So did you know that in September of 2022, in fact it was late July 2022, a decree was passed in the Valencian region of Spain that was applicable to the real estate industry. Now this was Decree 98-2022, and it states that anybody in the Valencian region in the exercise of activity of intermediary or mediation agent in real estate transactions in the Valencian region must be legally registered. So what does this mean for buyers, sellers and agents alike as we move forward into 2023 when the new regulations come into force? All this and more in this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. So let's read that again. So anybody involved in the exercise of the activity of intermediary or mediation agent in real estate transactions in the Valencian region must be legally registered. So if you want to be a real estate agent and you expect to sell more than 2 properties per year in the Valencian region, then you legally now need to be registered. So let me explain this from the perspective of an estate agent. So if you want to be an estate agent, you now have to be registered, but it's not as simple as just registering your name. In order to be registered as an agent, you, regardless of experience, whether you've got 3 months experience or you've got 17 years experience, you need to undertake some qualifications, which is a course of between 200 and 250 hours. There are, I think, about 17 modules in the course which cover everything from the basics of law in Spain to the applicable laws for real estate that cover the purchase, the sale, the rental of properties, the rights to housing. There are finance modules in there which cover the handling of money, mortgages and insurances. There are modules about marketing of properties, data protection, every aspect that you would be expected to cover as a real estate professional. You need to know your details, you need to study and then take an exam at the end of each module and pass it. At the end of all of the exams, you are then able to have the qualification in order to register as a real estate agent. So you've passed all of your exams, you have done your mandatory hours, your course of 200, 250 hours worth of studying, but it doesn't all end there. You now need to have liability insurance and general insurances. So I'll read again just on here. The newly qualified agent must also have insurance and service guarantees of €60,000 if they have an establishment which is open to the public, and €300,000 per agent if they work remotely, so if they are an internet-based agent. There is also going to be a civil liability insurance which covers the entire territory of the European Union. And that will cover things that issues that arise from damages caused to clients due to the fault or error or negligence of the professional person, i.e. the estate agent. The insurance must cover at least €600,000 per claim, and the year of insurance, and there's a limit of €150,000 per, I suppose, victim is the word. So there is a mandatory insurance that's also now required for agents to practice in the Valencian area. So once you've passed all of your exams, you've paid for the courses and you've done everything, you will be given a bright, shiny certificate or diploma to show that you are legally licensed as a real estate agent. And then you also will have your insurance certificate to show that you have paid all of the insurances and that you are completely compliant with all of the new regulations as required by law. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers? Well, quite simply, if your agent isn't complying with the law, then would you realistically trust them to deal with the sale or the purchase of a property for you? If they're going to ignore this law, the chances are that they're not going to be paying taxes, and what other corners are they going to cut? So, realistically, if you know what your agent should be registered and they're not, then you probably shouldn't be using them. And one final thing, I think that because all of the agents are now qualified, it doesn't mean that you still don't use the services of a good independent lawyer. I think the aspects of the law that we covered in the course were good for knowing. However, I would still recommend that you still seek the services of a good lawyer. I think this is going to get rid of the fly-by-night agents who appear when times are good and disappear just as quickly when they're not. And the agents that remain will be the dedicated agents, and I don't think you'll see many changes locally because lots of the local agents here have been here for quite a long time and are good, honest, hard-working people. But I think you'll find that the standard for your agents will improve. We have a little bit more knowledge with regards to what we do. Things will not really change a huge amount, other than that you will know that you are dealing with a qualified, licensed, insured professional person. So you can put your property sale or your property purchase in the hands of somebody that you know that you can trust. And that's it for this week's episode of 2 Minute Tuesday. You can see our logo up here that says that we are completely correct. In fact, we've joined API, which took another exam. So we had a final knowledge verification exam. And we took and passed that, and we're now proud members of API, so we're allowed to use their logo on our materials, which we're doing, as you can see. So until the next episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, we'll see you then. Adios.